Good afternoon, everybody! How are you today? The Mike and the Mad Dog Radio. Welcome to the weekend. I've had a lot of caffeine today, okay?
I see that.
Oh boy, have I had a lot of caffeine today.
What's got you so hopped up on caffeine?
Caffeine, Zensky? What do you mean what's got me hopped on caffeine?
No,
caffeine has got me hopped on caffeine.
I'm sorry, why are you so hopped up on caffeine? That's the more accurate question.
Because I've been drinking caffeine.
So just for no reason, you've just been...
No, it's just, I like to drink my coffee. So I had some coffee in the morning, then maybe had some coffee throughout the course of the day, then decided to have some coffee tonight. So
I'm with you there.
Cheers, man. I'm just saying it's something that's made me feel very wired today. So that's how we're starting out today's show, with me apparently doing a Mike or a Chris Russo impression for some ungodly reason.
You can't go wrong with him. He's a legend in some regards.
In some regards. How have you been? You doing okay? You doing all right?
I'm good, man. Yeah, we might be expecting a little bit of snow here in Massachusetts tomorrow, but
what?
Other than that, we're looking like a really nice weekend with weather-wise and everything. And I don't know, just starting to hopefully see a light at the end of the tunnel. We're past daylight savings time.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
You know what else is a big deal?
What?
It's tournament time, baby. The madness.
I know. I never get into it, so I sometimes forget. But obviously this is huge for you.
This is a very interesting time of the year. Usually I'm cheering for whatever team comes out of the Ivy League to see if they would make a deep run into the NCAA tournament. Obviously, the Ivy League decided not to play any college sports this winter, so there was no Ivy League basketball to root for in the NCAA tournament. We cannot say those two double M words on the podcast, or we'll probably be fined $10,000 from the NCAA. So we are trying to avoid saying words that rhyme with farch sadness.
Right. Which I never knew before, actually. But somebody mentioned it this week. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense because it's a CBS thing, right? It's their trademark copyright.
It's an everybody else but us sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Everybody else but us sort of thing. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not nearly into it as I have been in the past, and I think a lot of people are kind of in that same boat because it's been a very weird year of sports in general, and it really just TV and radio and everything in general. It's just been very, very odd because of the pandemic. So
well, it's the big full circle thing of this whole pandemic, right? Because that was the first big indication that something's happening with this thing, right? Like when the NCAA, I chalk it up there to whenever everybody got the notification on the phone that Steve Jobs passed away. You kind of remember where you were. Yeah. In that time that you got that notification, I remember getting the notification NCAA canceled the tournament, right? Yeah. And you're like, oh, so this is a thing. This is happening.
You were about to say that double M phrase, weren't you?
No, I didn't. I wasn't going to say.
I thought you were about to say it.
Starch badness.
I thought you were going to say it. All right, dude, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Should we just get to everything that's been going on in the history of ever?
Yeah.
Here's what you missed.
Yeah. Was that better? Was that a little bit more proper this time around?
You're getting there.
Okay.
You're getting there. Grammys.
The Grammys
happened.
Yeah, they did. They were very, very interesting to watch. I actually enjoyed the intimacy of it because they would go from one performer to another performer to another performer, all in the same location and area, right. And it was very, very interesting how they did it. I kind of appreciated it. I thought the television value of it for what it was tremendous. But I wasn't too pleased with the winners, and we'll get to that in a second. But what were you about to say?
Well, in full disclosure, I didn't watch, which in retrospect, like I'm kind of shocked I didn't, because I obviously take a vested interest in music and I don't know why I didn't tune in. But regardless, some of the feedback I did see from it was that like it was a nice break from what the Grammys normally is, which is like a hit or miss, because they were actually able to take the time and invest in a lot of the production value for these performances. So, for example, our buddy Silk Sonic, right, playing their new single, they actually did that retro kind of like camera filter on it, on the performance. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're watching it in that kind of vibe of the music, it adds a lot to it.
Yeah, no, it was a really cool event. I really appreciated it for the most part. Like I said, I just haven't been into the music nearly as much as I have been in years past, but looking at some of the big winners from the night last weekend, Record of the Year, Billie Eilish, Everything I Wanted, Album of the Year, go figure, it's Taylor Swift and Folklore, Song of the Year, I Can't Breathe by her. I think she's a tremendous artist, so I'm a big fan of her. Best New Artist, Megan Thee Stallion, which doesn't really surprise me, because a song like Savage just ruled the charts in one best rap song, best rap performance, I think. Like, she just swept everything, it felt like.
Well, Savage, WAP with Cardi B, Body is her new single right now. So like she's been everywhere this past year. So that's pretty accurate award.
I was very excited to see that Harry Styles won Best Pop Solo Performance. He began the award show with Watermelon Sugar, and I thought to myself, man, this guy's really got it.
Yeah.
Like, far and away from his boy band days with One Direction, where he's doing choreographed dances and everything. This guy seems like a true, genuine rock star for 2021.
Well, go back and listen to episode 1 or episode 2, where if we maybe were covering the Grammy nominations actually when they first dropped, right? And we talked about, it was the Rolling Stone list of like influential artists or something, and Harry Styles was on there, and you gave him a very similar label of like modern day rock star who's really kind of transcended that era away from One Direction. So good for him in terms of reinventing his career a little bit.
And Beyonce did Beyonce things, winning 4 awards at the Grammys. She now has 28. That's now the record for the most Grammy wins by a female artist. I believe she passes Alison Krauss with that number, who I would imagine had 27 of them. So Beyonce just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing and raking in those awards for everything, including Black Parade, which she did. She raked them up this time around too.
Truly the queen she is,
It's Beyonce though. I'm kind of over it.
Really?
Dude,
I don't know, man. When you're at that caliber of talent and fame, like, she deserves it.
All right, fair enough. Next headline, big news coming out this week from the governor's office in New York State.
You don't say. News out of Governor Cuomo's office?
I mean, nothing has really come from his office, but
yeah, that's right.
Anyway, it's been announced that Yankee Stadium and Citi Field, which of course are the homes for the Yankees and the Mets, they're going to be opening up to 20% capacity for fans, which is roughly anywhere between 8,500 and about 10,000 fans inside each stadium. So opening day's coming up here very, very soon. First week of April for both the Yankees and the Mets. The Yankees host the Blue Jays on April 1st. The Mets have their home opener, I believe, on April the 5th against the Philadelphia Phillies. So this is a step in the right direction. It's obviously something that in some ways feels needed to give us back a little sense of normalcy as we try to continue, or as we continue to see a light at the end of the tunnel and everybody continues to get vaccinated. And that's some of the big things there, is that you need to either bring a proof of vaccination with you to the venue, or you have to prove that you were tested and you have a negative test. So if I hypothetically get the vaccine, I bring a proof of the vaccination with me to the ballpark, and I guess I'm good to go.
Stark difference from what we're seeing in Texas, right? I mean, obviously, commendable for making a plan that responsibly puts fans' butts back into seats. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I think it'll be a little weird to see live sporting events happen again, but I think it'll be a welcome sight at that.
Well, you mentioned Texas. For those that didn't listen to the show last week, you missed out because we were ripping apart the state of Texas because the Rangers are allowing 100% capacity for opening day because they believe there is no virus whatsoever and they are completely immune to anything and everything that has to do with COVID-19 at this time.
Well,
Yikes.
They will be in for quite the surprise.
And the thing that bothers me is they're basically welcoming everybody with open arms, saying, here, come here during this pandemic. And then a couple of days later, they're going back to a smaller capacity and just shooing everyone away. Goodbye,
Right.
everybody. We want you to be cautious during this pandemic that's currently going on. Like, give me a break.
It's like people have tried to put a personality to COVID during this whole thing and says, oh yeah, I'm going to notice that it's 45,000 people, so I'm just going to lay here on the sidelines, not touch anybody. But when there's a group of 10,000, yeah, that's where I'm really going to make
Right.
myself known.
Yeah. So stupid.
Ugh, I don't get it, man.
Neither do I.
Speaking of COVID and stupid, so we've talked about, we've given much promotion to the mouse, Mickey Mouse, on the show before, and big news came out from Disney this week in that Disneyland Resort is opening for the first time in over a year on April 30th. So That is huge. It's been a very highly publicized issue between the Walt Disney Company and Governor Gavin Newsom of California, who had some very tight restrictions on opening the parks in the context of Disneyland Walt Disney World in Florida, which opened more or less successfully there.
Right.
But lo and behold, it's back open, but with some guidelines, as to be expected. Masks, social distancing, they run the gamut. The weirdest one by far, though, you can't scream on rides. So go on your roller coaster, right? That'll be open for you to strap into. Just don't scream your head off on it. And it's actually a legitimate part of their California reopening guidelines.
Do you have the actual text of the protocol?
I do.
Do
yes.
you like the actual words that are used to describe how they want people to not scream out loud when on certain rides or any ride for that matter at Disneyland?
So I have an excerpt of it, and this is from the
Excellent.
California Attractions and Parks Association, CAPA. And it
course.
says, quote, face covering usage and or modifications to seat loading patterns will be required on amusement park rides to mitigate the effects of shouting. So basically, and I think there's more to go along with that, but basically what that means is if you're on a roller coaster, you're probably not going to be sitting back to back in rows with complete strangers, and obviously you're not going to be sitting next to strangers, but their idea is to space you out in the ride. So if you do get a little ahead of yourself out of excitement for going on your favorite roller coaster for the first time in a year, you're going to be a little less likely to spread COVID if you have it.
To me, it makes no sense. I'm not saying that people purposely scream when they're going on amusement park rides. Sometimes the noise just comes out. Case in point, when Zensky went to Disney World.
I was just going to say, yeah.
With his lovely wife, Jenna. And we played the audio of him on all of these coasters and all these different rides. I can tell it's not a forced yelling from you. It's an
impulse.
Yeah. So what do they expect people to do? Just hum their way through the ride or something? It's mind-blowing. How in what world does the virus get spread from screen? I mean, they're supposed to be wearing their masks, aren't they?
No,
these rides?
absolutely. And I get it. Like, there's some validity to that, but this is funny because this is actually pulled from guidance when I forget if it was Tokyo Disneyland or Hong Kong Disneyland opened up in Asia, and they had guidance about, no screaming on rides. Do you know what they said instead? They said, scream in your heart.
Screaming in your heart means you're having a heart attack.
Right. Probably not the right way to phrase something for somebody who has to consider health conditions before going on a ride. And here's the final kicker, then we'll move on, right? So the big roller coaster at Disney California Adventure is now called the Incredicoaster. It's named after the Incredibles. Its former name, original to when the park opened, California Screamin'. So I just think that's just beautiful irony.
Ironic.
Yep.
It's very, very ironic. So bizarre, man. I don't get it.
I don't either, but for a fan of theme parks and a fan of all things Disney, I am happy to see that resort bringing the magic to the people of California once again.
Yeah. So there are the headlines for this week. I still am very floored. I know it's a different year. I understand we're going through a lot of weird things. I understand viewership and listenership is down in just about every aspect of entertainment. But I'm kind of surprised you didn't watch the Grammys.
I know. Me too. Like it registered that it was happening and that was going to be an award show going on that night. I just was like, like we talked about with the Golden Globes, like everything is just happening like in a modified version this year. So I was like, how good could it actually be? And I guess I was underestimating them.
For some reason, I was into it so much, even though I wasn't really into a lot of the music.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the pre-show on YouTube. And that's basically, if you don't know, where they give the awards out for Best Improvised Jazz Solo and Best Song Written for a Visual Media and, Best Global Music Album. That's when they give out a majority of the awards and even some of the bigger awards, like Best Country performance. I'm trying to remember what Dan and Shay specifically won, but they were honored. Then they ended up being shown on the pre-show. Best R&B album, best rap album. So there's a lot of big awards that they don't show on the telecast on national TV that they'll show during this this other cast, if you will. Usually they'll post it on YouTube or you can find the live stream on social media. So I was watching it last week, and I'm trying to remember for the life of me. I've got it written down here somewhere, but the album, it was Best Rock Album. That's what it was. The award for Best Rock Album went to The Strokes for their album, The New Abnormal. And The Strokes have been around for a while, right? And this was apparently their first Grammy win, and I was kind of surprised by that. But you would think that as soon as the announcement was made by the hosts of this awards program, that The Strokes would be thrilled out of their mind that they just won a Grammy. Instead, because it's 2021, and so much of this was virtual, and there was a lot of zooming in.
Right.
We got this.
And the Grammy goes to The Strokes.
Okay. Go on. We can't hear who won. It's cutting out.
What?
Come on. Yeah. Did we win?
You guys won. Yeah.
Whoa. Damn. Sorry. Couldn't hear. I don't know. There's Rick Rubin, obviously. Magic is real. We believe in you. Wow. I don't know. I feel like we could have won based on maybe the name alone, really.
There's so much.
Wow.
So much to ingest there in terms of what I was watching, what I was hearing, what I was seeing. It was so bizarre. And it was perfect 2021.
Yeah.
They had no idea what was going on because of some poor internet connection.
I mean, we talked about how Zoom is just throwing everybody for a loop, as it's thrown us for a loop sometimes this past year. But so here's my thing: they're not filling that awkward silence with the normal, announcer. Yeah, don't. I know you're playing with me. You're not frozen. All right, so To the Weekend is now a one-man show because Karski is fake frozen on Zoom. That was pretty good, though.
I couldn't hold my breath for that long, man. Holy cow. Man, am I out of shape.
That's pretty impressive.
Did you believe it for 1 second that maybe I was frozen?
For like a tenth of a second.
See, I shouldn't have done it during that. I should not have done it during this moment. I should have done it later in the show. I've been planning
your hand
this.
Too early.
I played myself. I had been planning this for like 2 days, that I was going to just be here in our Zoom, in our show, at the podcast, getting ready to say something, and then just boom, freeze. And see what was going to happen.
I expect better from you, man.
I'm so mad that didn't work out.
Listen, valiant effort. But here's my question, though, as I was saying. So obviously after they announce people at these award shows, right, it takes some time for them to get up to the stage, like, hug and kiss everybody in their entourage. And then there's, a voice, an announcer, like going through, this is their first nomination and first win for, the Strokes. And so, like, they didn't do any of that. You can't tell me you can't throw a voiceover over like an interlude.
No, because they got to quickly go through all that stuff. I mean, it's especially with it being digital and done the way that it was done this year. I'm sure they just wanted to get through it as quick as they could. And take care of business. So I mean, it was just so much to really digest from the Strokes. But I was happy for them. I mean, they were so excited. Like, they started shaking up some beer and like spraying it on each other. They dropped a bunch of F-bombs at the end of their congratulatory speeches. It was very interesting, that's for sure.
Well, good for them. They're an iconic band, and so since I didn't watch the show, though, I did go back. And NPR thankfully put out a good article, 10 takeaways from a big weird night for the Grammys 2021. So I kind of got the vibe of the award show from this. I think the biggest takeaway is something that we already talked about, is that they said, number one, the broadcast itself was a triumph, and they gave a lot of credit to the executive producer, Ben Winston, who this was his first time EPing the Grammys. So I think that ladders up to, you were saying, the quality of the performances, and they were, I guess, moving at a good pace through everything. Sometimes these award shows can get very drawn out. But would you say that the overall quality of the show was good?
Well, when everything I didn't watch the Golden Globes, so I don't know enough to speak on that. But when everything was done via Zoom and video conferencing and this, that, and the other, and you've got one host at this location, another host at this location, I think the Grammys were basically a 10 out of 10 when it came to production value. There's no doubt about it. It was executed so well from start to finish. I enjoyed the intimacy of those who were getting their awards and those who were waiting for the awards sitting at the tables. I enjoyed the intimacy of the performances, where they would go from one performer to another performer to another performer, all in the same area, and then they would show, Harry Styles kind of listening to, Billie Eilish, let's say, when watching her performance, and you see him nodding his head with the music and singing along with it, and things like that. And you would see Miranda Lambert doing the same thing with Maren Morris and John Mayer as they performed. I just think it was so nice how they did it. It was almost refreshing, because there's always this big to-do and this big glorified telecast, it feels like sometimes with these award shows, that it was nice to have that small, intimate feel to it.
Right. Which is the total antithesis of what these award shows are, to your point. These are over the top, flashy, literal red carpet, here's who I'm wearing type gigs.
Yeah, and then of course you got somebody like Taylor Swift who's got to make it about herself and perform like 4 of her songs from Folklore and have a giant set where she's like in a house and everything. Oh my God, she took it to another level, because of course she did.
So the two performances that I did see clips of is probably arguably my favorite pop artist right now, Dua Lipa.
Oh, she's so good.
So she crushed it. So what she did, Levitating and Don't Start Now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Levitating is arguably my favorite song of the last 5 years, probably. I think it's an awesome track.
Really?
Oh yeah. I saw your look of shock there, dude. It has a vibe to it. I don't know. It's just like every little thing that you would want to hear in a pop song, like it has yeah, like that little interlude. It just adds something to it. I'm not going to keep ranting about it, but it's a great song. So I saw that. I also saw Silk Sonic, obviously.
Very good.
Yeah.
The tribute, the in memoriam was very well done, I thought, especially when we saw Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, and Anderson .Paak come out and do a tribute to Little Richard, because it proves that Bruno Mars can do just about anything and sing everything, and he is a one-of-a-kind performer who deserves all the credit and all the love in the history of ever. One thing I felt very, 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 very uncomfortable watching was Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion performing live, as my fiance sat next to me, enjoying every single moment of it and soaking it all in. I, for one, was trying to avoid any sort of eye contact. Words. You know what? That probably was. I'm just going to come right out and say it. And that was an interesting choice of words, just coming in and out, just back and forth. That's just what's going to happen, okay? I don't know how to describe any of this, so I'm just going to shut up now and just say I'm done using words because they could be taken out of context, and WAP was just not my thing, man. Not my thing.
Well, it's not everybody's thing, that's for sure. I did hear about that too, and obviously that song got some notoriety this past year. Do you know what didn't get a lot of attention at the Grammys, though? You probably didn't see a lot of Irish drinking songs at the performance, right?
Why in the bleep would there be an Irish drinking song? Let me see. Let me look at my notes. Let me see if there was best traditional, music, a category for that. Best folk album? Nah, that wouldn't cut it. Best instrumental composition? No, because it wouldn't be that. Best historical album? Maybe.
So here's why I ask, is because it happened as it does, because this usually happens in February, but this year it happened leading up to St. Patrick's Day, which, if you're listening to this, was 2 days ago. So it got me thinking, though. You're not frozen. Come on.
I know I'm not frozen. I'm looking to see if there's a best global, best global sort of category or something like that for the Grammys. There's nothing. My God.
Oh, really?
Bunch of fools. Not from what I could tell. But I was
more things for.
There's like 80 some categories, dude.
Listen, everybody's going to find something to boycott about the Grammys. That's going to be the next thing, right? But here's what got me thinking, though. So the Grammys is coinciding with St. Patrick's Day. And so happy St. Patrick's Day to all who celebrate, which is most Americans, I think. But so remember a few weeks ago, or more than that, you quizzed me on football cadences.
Yes.
Right. And, from the likes of Tim Tebow to Peyton Manning and everybody in between, you had me guess if a set of words made a football cadence.
Tim Tebow? Why are you throwing Tim Tebow's name into the realm? He's a retired professional baseball player.
Okay, Drew Brees, another retired football player, to Peyton Manning, another retired football player. So we're going to turn the bar stools, if you will. Now, over to you. So I'm going to take the inspiration from that game, but I have questions for you, wanting to know if these are Irish drinking song titles or not.
Oh, sounds like a good old day.
Does that sound good to you?
I feel like I shouldn't be doing that because I really probably just screwed it up. It's fine. It's,
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. First one. The Wild Rover. Drinking song or not?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a drinking song.
It is a drinking song. By the one and only Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, that was easy. I knew that one. Yep. Mm-hmm. Totally.
Here we go. Next one. Come and join the British Army.
I'm going to assume... You know what? No, I'm going to say yes. That is a drinking song.
It is a drinking song. Look at you, 2-0. That is by the Dubliners.
These are actual artists. I thought maybe these were just drinking songs from like 1847 or something along those lines.
Oh, no. These are actual songs.
Oh, my gosh.
Next one. The Unicorn.
I'm going to say you're throwing me for a loop. I'm going to say, yeah, that's a drinking song.
It is a drinking song.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
What a guess. Who in the hell came up with that song?
A mythical creature has nothing to do. Well, are they trying to draw a tide of leprechauns? I don't know.
The unicorn, it drinks really good. La, 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 la. That's my song.
Next one. Whiskey in the Jar.
That's got to be one.
It is.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
4 for 4, man. Let's go.
Let's go for 5-0. Good old Seamus.
Good old Seamus. I got a feeling it is.
It's not.
Oh,
The streak ends at 4.
damn.
Valiant effort, though.
Is that all of them?
No, I got some more. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Potatoes for breakfast.
No, there's no way that's one.
You're right. That is not a song.
Although I could see it being one because, I mean, St. Patrick's Day. Please.
We'll do 2 more, okay?
Okay.
Me Guinness is here.
Absolutely, it is.
It is absolutely not.
Really
Really?
puzzling.
It is.
Copyright. Can't say Guinness. Just like you can't say Barch Tradness.
All right, ready? Last one.
Okay.
The Beer Song.
I would assume yes, but I'm going to say no.
Oh, you should have gone with your gut.
It is one.
It is.
How is the
By
beer
sh-
song?
By Seamus
Or no, that's
Kennedy.
the wrong. There we go.
The Beer Song by Seamus Kennedy.
The only beer song I like is Roll Out the Barrel. Because I like polkas. None of this Irish drinking song nonsense.
So
Get
where
out
did you
of
end up with that? Were you what, like 6, 5, and
I ended up
5
getting
and-
5 out of 8 correct. So I will take that mark. I think it's not too shabby.
Well
I
done.
think it's pretty old, very nice. I don't know what they say. Do they say certain terminology that I should know?
Top of the morning to you.
Well, everybody knows that. I got to come up with something different. I just feel like St. Patrick's Day is so overrated. Unbelievably overrated.
We were talking about this because I actually have some rather fond memories of St. Patrick's Day, last year aside, because that's the day that most attribute to the world shutting down for the pandemic, right? But growing up, I had the privilege of marching in the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City.
Well, that's nice, but it doesn't do it for me.
Which is fair.
Here we go. Here we go.
The arm is on the mic stand.
The one thing that just gets me every single St. Patrick's Day.
What is that?
It's when people post on social media, oh, everyone's a little bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and it's a photo of a Guinness or a photo of a beer or a photo of JMO or like something like that. Look, I get it. It's a reason for you to be an alcoholic on that day. I understand. I don't give a damn that you're posting it on your social media. I don't need to see it. I don't really care. I can drink a Guinness if I want to, but I'm not going to post it all over Facebook. And the frickin' phrasing, everyone's a little bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I'm a little bit Irish, and guess how many beers I had for St. Patrick's Day? 0. Ask how much bangers and mash that I ate. None. Did I eat corned beef and cabbage? No. You know what I had? Hamburgers and all-American food.
So you're telling me that in your 30 plus years of existence, or 10 plus years of existence where you could go out to a bar and drink legally, that you've never just kind of gotten yourself caught up in the hype and went and had like a draft Guinness on St. Patrick's Day? You're lying.
All right,
you were lying.
All right, story time. So there is one occasion where I've celebrated St. Patrick's Day. I was not out with anybody. Instead, I was a student and a senior at Ithaca College.
I can only guess where you went.
It was during spring break. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in my apartment with my roommate, the one and only Tucker Ives, great friend of mine. We went to Five Guys, got some burgers. We got a 6-pack of Guinness. We came back. We watched the NCAA tournament together. We drank the Guinness. We took shots of rum. And by the end of the night, we were gone. We were toast.
So out of all the liquor you could have on St. Patty's Day, you had rum.
Oh, it was like black spiced rum. Captain Morgan, we're talking, what is it, 100 proof or something like that back in the day? Oh, man, was
Damn.
that stuff was lethal, okay? And we just spent the night watching March Madness in the comfort of our own home, and that was it.
Watching what?
Oh, son of a no. So watching watching Sarch Fadness. Great, now we're gonna get fined $10,000. Son of a
No, you're just gonna bleep it out in post. I caught the professional broadcaster. Look at that.
Here's the thing. I'm getting
Little
married
old
here.
me.
I'm getting married here in like 6 months. You're gonna have to front the bill this time, okay?
Wait, front the bill for what?
The
For
fine.
the fine?
The fine.
Not for your wedding.
What?
I thought you were talking about like me fronting the bill for your wedding.
No. Fronting the fine.
Oh, okay. No, I can't do that either. Sorry.
Make a little check out.
You're a great friend, but not that good of a friend. Not a $10,000 friend.
Oh, the luck of the Irish say you got to have friends forever.
If you bring me a pot of gold, I'll get you your fine paid.
All right, we're doing terrible at
let's
this
let's
Irish
move
stuff.
along. Let's move along.
We're doing terrible at it.
And was there anything else to that story, or that was it?
No.
You and the great man Tucker Ives, the legend that he is, just getting blackout drunk on St. Patrick's Day, which is fine. Like that's a very appropriate St. Patty's Day story. I commend you for that.
Five Guys and just watched college basketball and then played some Call of Duty to end the night. There was no celebration at all. St. Patrick's Day, please get out of here.
So, another question for you, right? Are you familiar with The Matrix?
I'm
Movies?
familiar with it. I've never actually seen the movies though.
You've never seen the movies?
No, never. I'm not.
Are you joking?
I've told you, I'm not necessarily a big movie guy.
Get out of here, though. Those movies
Never
are
seen
iconic. All right, whatever. Anyway, so there's a pill which carries significance in the Matrix movies, right? So I saw this thing on Instagram today, where you can only pick 2 pills, and they're different colors, and they have different kind of attributes to them, right? So there's 9 of them. I'm going to read them here. So pill number 1, if you take it, you could look 15 years younger. Pill number 2, if you take it, you could read minds for 3 days. Pill number 3, you could forget your ex. Number 4, you could eat without gaining weight. Number 5, add 5 centimeters to your height. Number 6, become super strong. Number 7, have a lot of money. Number 8, always feel happy. And number 9, get millions of followers, I guess, on your social media platform of choice.
Yeah.
So here's my question. As this Instagram story posted it, pick only 2 pills. Which ones do you take?
All right. Well, we're gonna have a fine to pay for saying the double M words that are associated with college basketball during this time. So
So you're starting off with number 7.
starting off with pill number 7, have a lot of money. I've got a wedding coming up. I've got a honeymoon coming up. There's a lot of stuff. Look, I need as much much cash as I can possibly get my hands on. So I am ingesting that pill to have a lot of money.
Okay.
I also feel like I sometimes need to impress my significant other. And I think I would take pill number 6, which is become super strong. Show off those muscles, show off those glutes, just try to impress her and make her think, oh, wow, look at this guy. I mean, this is the guy I'm marrying? Oh, wow, hello.
For all the muscles in your body, the first one that comes to mind is your glutes.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You want a nice ass.
Nice hamstrings, nice quads, nice biceps,
right.
nice triceps. Nice little jawline, something like that.
Don't you arguably already have a good leg muscle structure from your time as a catcher growing up?
Come on, Zensky. When I was playing high school baseball, all of like 15 years ago, get out of here with that nonsense.
I'm trying to give you credit, buddy.
Yeah, try to give me credit. If I wanted to give myself credit, I'd go for something else, like more social media followers or trying to read minds for 3 days. I wouldn't go with make me stronger.
Fair enough.
See?
Here's what I would pick.
Okay.
I'd also go with number 7. I'd also want to have a lot of money. I know that seems a little shallow, but I think in the context of these choices, that is kind of an easy choice.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'd probably go with number 2. I'd want to read minds for 3 days.
Why?
Because this might sound a little douchey, but I've always said that I'm a good judge of people and a good judge of character. And I say this because there was this kid I used to work with one time, and I was always like very amicable with him, like never had any bad blood between us. But something in the back of my mind always led me to believe that like this guy has like an ulterior motive. He's up to something. He's going to do something sleazy to this company and he's going to get in trouble for it, right? Lo and behold, after I left, a few months later, he got fired for stealing. And I just keep going back to as like I knew for the 7 or so years that I worked with him, I was like, this guy's up to something. So I say that, and so I want to read minds because I want to see how accurate that assumption that I have of myself is. Am I actually that good of a judge of people's character?
Fair enough, because I was going to say, if you're that good of a judge of people's character, then forget about it. Go with pill number 4 or something like that, whatever that may be. But it makes
Eat without
sense.
gaining weight, yeah.
Geez, now I feel bad. I didn't realize that was the one because I don't have it up here now. Son of a... God, mother bleep... Wow. I'm just on a roll tonight, aren't I?
I see what you truly think about me.
It's not going
but here's the downside to that reading minds for 3 days, right? Like I think I would want to read the minds of the minds that I'd actually be interested in, but I think I'd be really freaked out by the people's whose minds that I want to have no interest of reading.
No. This is what you do. Okay, listen to me. This is what you do. You go to some of the smartest and biggest entrepreneurs in this world. You try to find them, okay? You read their mind. Whatever ideas they have, jot them down in your phone. Boom. You steal those ideas. You become the millionaire. You don't have to worry about pill number, whatever it is, 7, where it comes to the money. You instead are reading their minds. You're taking their ideas. You're banking off of literally banking off of their ideas. Got yourself a whole lot of dough. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. You're going to be filthy rich.
You know how to work the system. Or you know how to work the mind reading system.
See, look at this. This is why I'm a good friend. This is why we forget about what's been said in the past.
You're a good friend. You only make fun of my weight.
No, that's why I said. That's why we forget what's been said in the past. That's why we forget. We both did this at the same time. Son of a...
Did we really?
Son of a...
Did we really?
We really both just froze at the same time.
No way.
God, mother, this show needs to come to an end today.
That's hysterical.
You really just did it as I went to go do it.
100%. That is fantastic.
Mind reading. You don't need that damn pill, Zensky.
That
You don't
is
need
true
a pill.
friendship right there.
You don't need
that
a
is
pill.
true friendship.
You don't need a pill.
On that note, hey, speaking of getting followers, give us some followers while you're at it. Find us on To The Weekend Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. YouTube if you're inclined for the video version as well. We'll be back next week with another one. But hey, enjoy the extra daylight. We're in daylight savings. The weather's getting nicer, so get outside when you can and enjoy it. But hey, until next week, you stay classy, my friend.
Hey, you stay classy, my friend.
Peace.
Say it.